was started in 1981. It was really a group of friends. My Med Club buddy, Bill Selling, came to me and said, I have a small space that I fixed up to be a gallery. Do you know any artists? I said, yeah, I know a few. And the thing that was unique about the Fun Gallery is we were the first gallery to give graffiti artists one-man shows. We were not strictly a graffiti gallery. We never were.
Would you consider graffiti a mainstream art or mainstream culture?
Well, I don't understand what's the difference between mainstream. I mean, just like the gallery, I never wanted to be considered an alternative space.
Welcome to the recreation of the world-famous Fun Gallery in the MOCA presentation of Art in the Streets. I first met Jean-Michel Basquiat on the steps up to the VIP room of the Mud Club. He was homeless, and I just was teasing him about his weird hairdo. And later on, at Diego Cortez's PS1 show, I found out he was a brilliant artist. We were thrilled to have Jean-Michel Basquiat show with us in the November of 1982. This picture, St. Joe Louis surrounded by snakes, was in the original storefront window, and I'm very, very grateful to the Brandt Foundation for allowing us to have this piece in the show. I want to thank Jeffrey Deitch for giving us all this wonderful opportunity to present this show, Art in the Streets. I've known Jeffrey for 30 years. He was an early supporter of the Fun Gallery, and actually in 1982, when we were standing in the Fun Gallery with the Jean-Michel Basquiat show, Jeffrey said to me, you know, Patti, one day there will be a recreation of this in a museum. I just didn't know it was going to be his museum. This is the Fun Gallery original crew room. These are the artists that had one-man shows at the Fun Gallery. This is a gorgeous Futura painting from 1982. Futura actually started the Fun Gallery with an earlier party we had at my apartment, the art opening and barbecue. This is a sculpture by the artist Kylie Jenkins. This is a recreation of an actual interior of a New York subway car. This piece Kylie brought with the blank insides to the famous Beyond Words show that Keith Haring, Freddy, and Futura curated on the top of the Mud Club, which was basically downtown's introduction to the hip-hop scene. Africa Bambaataa was the DJ, and these are actual tags. This is another sculpture by Kylie Jenkins, portrait of the artist as a young jerk. Kylie grew up on the Upper West Side with Futura and this next artist, Zephyr. They formed the Zoo York crew. This is a beautiful Zephyr, the end of an era. They're referring to when the gallery, the artwork was moving into the galleries, coming off the trains. This is an outstanding painting by Freddy, Freddy. It's part of his Fresh Fruit exhibition. This is the Return of God to Africa. This painting is in 1983. The day that I started the Fun Gallery was the day I met Freddy, because Fab would make me down my lawn and gave me all my knowledge. This is a work on cowhide by Keith Haring. I met Keith Haring on the street in the East Village in 1980. He came up to me and asked me if he could take my picture. We became very good friends. These are two outstanding paintings by the artist Donnie White. Again, a very influential painter on the trade. This is a painting by Quinones, probably the greatest graffiti writer of all time. Lee was famous for his 10-car subway train when he painted 10 whole cars, top to bottom, in one night, and they rolled out. This is a beautiful painting. It's actually on sheet metal. It's from 1982. As I was saying, Keith was pretty good at putting together these one-night shows. So one night we did the black-white show in the basement of Club 57. I wanted to participate in the show, so I went to 14th Street and I bought this t-shirt dress and I put the splotchy day glow paint on it. And when I walked in the door, it was tagged by everybody. Jean-Michel Basquiat, Keith Haring, Fab 5, Donnie, Zephyr, fun gallery. When we were starting out, it was going to be an artist gallery as opposed to the Soho business type gallery. So anybody could do whatever they wanted with the space, and we were going to have each artist name the gallery. Kenny named it the Fun Gallery, and it was so stupid that we just let it stick. And these are from his series. This is from his second show. They were hung with this stencil in the original installation in the Fun Gallery, his second show in 1982. This is the famous Fun Gallery refrigerator. My partner Bill and I decided we need to have a refrigerator, so we bought this old refrigerator, and of course, the Fun Gallery was a clubhouse, and everyone hung out there all day, every day. And as soon as we put the refrigerator up, it was covered like this in about 20 minutes. This tag right here in the center was Fab 5, he started it. This is the Keith Haring poster for Keith's show at the Fun Gallery. He printed 1,000 of these posters to be given away at his show. And he would be there every day signing them and meeting his fans. These are some of the famous Fun Gallery invitations and ads. Each artist got to design their own ad and work with the space. The art form ads right here were quite revolutionary at the time for this dumpy little gallery that was only open from 3 to 6 on Sunday afternoons to start advertising an art form. This is another gorgeous Futura painting. It's on a refrigerator door. Again, there was no set rules about what you could paint on or what you could paint. So a lot of the things are found objects. This is the one woman artist who showed at the Fun Gallery, Jane Dixon. She's married to Charlie Haring, who's director of Wild Style. She and Charlie lived in Times Square, so her show were all of these paintings influenced by the neon from Times Square, and that's actually a portrait of Fab 5. And there's a beautiful piece here. It's a collaboration with a number of artists: Futura, John Michel, Kenny, Keith Haring. Something that I really noticed about when I was putting this show together, that there's a lot of collaborative works from the major artists at the time, which you don't really find in any other period that I know of. Paintings from these artists, some of their best. This is a painting called The Winds of War by the artist Scharf. Again, very influential artist. This is an interesting painting because it counts a history in graffiti. It says The Winds of War is respect your fellow artists here. This red line was started by this artist named Cap. And for the first time, he would just go and take this red can of paint and just scribble over artwork, which pretty much because I didn't live too long if that happened, but he just chose to do that, and he actually, for capping, is what this came to be called. Very sweet painting by a young artist who also is no longer with us, Bear 157. I always refer to these as my, as the Wizard of Oz school. It's kind of seeing me. There are a number of paintings in this style that you'll see, and you just see the beautiful sunset, sort of like coming out of the ghetto and heading up into the beautiful sunset horizon. Often it would be, their goal would be to get to Manhattan to fulfill their dreams. This is a terrific painting by the artist Delta. It actually does say Delta in there. Just a very freewheeling, traditional type of painting. A lot of the graffiti artists, when I unveiled this, when we unwrapped it, got all excited because they remember the year that painting came out, the hot pink. It's no longer available. Again, one of the masters of the classic graffiti style, a partner in writing, Zephyr. This is Revolt. Terrific example of this classic traditional style. Revolt and Zephyr did the animated beginning for the movie Wild Style, and many writers tried to copy this. The one and only is the Wiz, the Master Blaster Squad. Again, over 3,000 trades, widely copied, very much missed, is the Wiz. As I said, one of the things that really took graffiti art and art in general off the walls and into the street was these guys would paint on anything. And this was this gorgeous Cadillac. Actually, I remember the day when Kenny was at the Fun Gallery and this poor guy brought in this absolutely perfect tan Cadillac. So we all get in it for the test ride, and then Kenny decides he's going to drive and immediately smashes the front of it. So I thought the guy was going to die. So Kenny bought the car, but as you can see, it turned out pretty well. This is Keith Haring's Buick Special, the Special K. They would actually drive these cars around. These two cars, the refrigerator, many of the paintings that were loaned to me in the show come from the collection of Larry Warsh, who was one of my earliest collectors and supporters of the Fun Gallery. Again, someone that I've known for 30 years. So thank you, Larry. This is a contemporary piece done by Quinones. Actually, we'll be showing Lee, Futura, and Fred Brathwaite, Fab by Freddy, in the fall at Shepard Fairings Gallery. We're doing a show called Three Kings, which is going to showcase their contemporary work. The famous Writer's Bench. The Writer's Bench was located up at 149th Street, the Grand Concourse in the Bronx, and everybody would meet there after you came out of the yards. Everybody would gather at the Writer's Bench 6 a.m. to watch all the trains come by. Again, this is a very interesting contemporary piece by Fred Brathwaite, Fab 5, incorporating his wild style motifs. Fred was the creator of the show Yo! MTV Raps. Futura painting again, this is all spray can. Each of the writers had their own distinct style. I was down by law, so I was allowed to watch them, but I wasn't allowed to tell how they did this. This is a display from Charlie Kager from the one and only hip-hop movie, Wild Style.
See? There they go. Look at this. So this is
This is a gorgeous installation that Kenny Scharf did on site for the exhibit, Art in the Streets. Again, all spray can, although the paints are now less toxic and easier to use than back in the days of the Krylon era. Kenny learned to spray paint from the Fun Gallery artists. One of the things that's great about this exhibit were all of these installations. The competition really started heating up when all the guys were here. And this was a great amount of energy, brings a real immediacy to the exhibit, and makes the exhibit unique. This is a terrific collection, all from the artist and one of my good friends, Martin Wong, who's no longer with us. He left his collection to the Museum of the City of New York. These are all the black books that the artist would carry around to trade sketches, sketch their ideas. This is one of my favorite parts of the installation, Martin Wong's personal address book, where you see Keith's number, Andy Warhol's number, and my phone number. Shepherd ferret. Something that's very gratifying to myself and my partner Bill Stelling from the Fun Gallery is the artists that have carried on the legacy. We would be honored to include Shepherd in our Fun Gallery show as one of those who kept the flame. The beat goes on. These young artists, beautiful losers, started the East Village. They've again continued that Fun Gallery spirit of adventure.